Danique, for the people that still don't know you, could you tell us a little bit more about you and your story?
Of course. So my name is Danique, I'm from the Netherlands, and we are here in the office of Mud Jeans, a circular jeans brand, which started in 2012 and so now exists over 8 years, and we are the first and still only circular denim brand that recycles all their jeans after use.
And could you tell me three curiosities about you that are not available in the social networks?
So last year I moved to a small village next to Utrecht, and I have my own vegetable garden, which is really nice and great to grow your own vegetables, and it just tastes so much better
when you produce them yourself.
Yeah.
What do you think was the most relevant experience that you had in the past that led you to work in the circular sustainable area?
So my background is in marketing and advertising, and creating marketing or branding things is just really great because you can help any kind of company or brand. But it's even nicer if you're doing this for a brand that you truly believe in or a mission that aligns with your own purpose and mission in life. So at one point I saw Bert van Son, still the owner of the company, do a talk about Lisa jeans and Mud jeans. And when I saw this talk, I really just immediately knew that this was a company where I had to be involved in.
So could you tell us a little bit more about Mud Jeans' story?
Yeah, so we exist since 2012. In 2013, the idea Lisa jeans was invented. And that was really revolutionary because this is really an idea that moves away from ownership and goes into the direction of just having access and products as a services, something that didn't exist really at that time. So those were big steps in creating the brand as it still is today. We evolved and we improved things, but our main story is still the same. And that's something we're really proud of because it also meant that already at the time we knew what was going to come, and people still love it and they're really engaged with what we are doing and they follow us.
And what kind of solutions and products does Mud Jeans provide to the public?
Yeah, so our main focus is jeans, because jeans are one of the biggest items in the fashion industry, and the fashion industry is the second most polluting industry in the world. So jeans done right makes a lot of impact. So our focus is on jeans, and the services that we offer is the lease a jeans service, so people can lease their jeans. They can also buy their jeans for €119, but they can also lease them for a monthly fee. And this is great because when we started, it was more, a great idea the media really loved, but we really noticed that over time, and especially the last year, people just really love to experience leasing themselves because it is also in line with, the sharing economy and more rental platforms that are out there. So people get more used to not owning things, and we really notice that it's also a trend to not own just more, but to have great experiences and relationships in life. And it's not only about the material things that come in life.
And what kind of materials do you use to produce your jeans?
Yeah, so our jeans are made from recycled cotton and organic cotton, and these are the only two materials. And in some of our stretch jeans we use 1% elastan. And by creating a product that needs to be recycled, we have to design for recycling. So that means that our materials are all mono materials. So for example, also our buttons, so that they can be recycled as well. But also in our jeans, it means that we said goodbye to leather labels and use printed ones instead. And we try to use pure and natural materials only, because it makes the recycling process easier. So already in the design phase, we think of the end of life of the jeans. But of course, it also means that we create high quality products, because at the beginning, we just want the first stage to exist as long as possible. So we create high quality products. We do repair them, and if they are sent back to us, then the jeans are first sold as vintage jeans, and only after that they will be recycled. So we really try to extend that process, and when the jeans are really worn out, we recycle them into new pairs. And by recycling and by using organic and recycled cotton, we really make a lot of impact. Maybe that's nice to tell, because we did a life cycle assessment together with EcoChain, and the impact is just really big of using recycled cotton. We save 92% water compared to industry standards, and 76% CO2, 49% land use. So really just, circular economy can sometimes sound so abstract, but if you really think of it, you're just reusing, the cotton of old jeans. And it just means that you need less new and virgin cotton, and it just makes really a lot of impact.
And when someone returns a pair of jeans that have some kind of damage, what do you do with it?
Yeah, what's really nice also about having a circular business model is that the relationships that we have with our customers is more intense, because they come back to us when a product is broken, or also at the end of life they send their jeans back to us. So it's always an ongoing relationship and not a one-stop relationship, as is still the normal case in traditional fashion.
What do you like the most about working at Mud Jeans?
So my background is in branding and marketing, and I really love that for a lot of people that we sell or lease our jeans to, we are not only a simple product that they wear, but it's a product that they feel really proud of wearing. So that also means that for them we are more than a product, but more a story that they'd like to share. And this is something incredible to work for, a community that is so engaged and also really wants us to move forward and be, the front runner in circular denim, because that's what we aim for, really to be that front runner who creates the first jeans made from 100% post-consumer recycled cotton. And this is something we are investigating now with a few partners, Saxion University and Circular Economy, to be able to create that jeans from 100% recycled denim, because at the moment our jeans exist of 40% recycled denim, which is the highest percentage technically possible. But it's just great, we can only get this far if the people who purchase our jeans feel really connected and also share our story, and that's what's happening. So I love working for a brand that has a really loyal community and fan base.
Yeah, it's like I feel this when I buy a product that I really believe. It's like you feel proud of having it, and you feel like it's like a badge saying
exactly.
This is the values that I
yeah.
It's really interesting. The millennials and the generation Z have completely different profiles when compared with the previous generations, and many of companies are having a hard time to keeping these people motivated.
Yeah.
And in your opinion, what kind of conditions should companies create for their employees to tackle this challenge?
So I think what's going on in this Gen Z and millennial generation is that these people want their life to be aligned with their purposes. So in everything, in the things they eat, the places they work, the employees they work for, the clothing they buy. So this is a generation that is really has a lot of opinion on what they purchase, but also what they want to, spend their time at their work. So I think what this generation really wants is to own less and experience more. I just read an article that stated, why do older people always think that we want to own stuff? And I just found it really funny, because there's really a gap in indeed perhaps also what older employees aim for and what this younger generation wants. And they do like to experience more, and perhaps it's not only about the salary, it's also about feeling committed to a larger and greater cause and to develop yourself as a person, and that can be done in different areas. So I think it's important to motivate them by increasing their level of knowledge, but also in giving them the freedom to experience and the freedom to develop themselves.
And I'm sure that some of the people that will watch this interview afterwards are circular economy enthusiasts and have dreamt to work in a company like Mud Jeans. What advice could you give to these people, if you could talk directly to them?
Well, it's funny because this is something we recently discussed. I believe that everything is possible. You can create everything, even if you start working for a small company, a startup. It's just possible to make this a proper company and a job with great colleagues. So also really believe in small initiatives or companies you're supporting, that it's possible to break that barrier and to really get further. This is not only for great entrepreneurs, anyone can be that and do that. If you really believe in the greater cause, and if you know that you have something that people would like to engage with.
This is the final question, but one of the things that I also would like to ask you related to this last question is a lot of people actually are starting to discover the circular economy, and they feel they would like to work in a company that is already developing some efforts in this area, but they don't know where should they start, or what should they do, what kind of courses should they do, what kind of skills should they develop in this area to these people that don't know where to begin.
I mean, of course, many more companies are becoming more aware that it's important to have a purpose and not only sell products. And this is not only to reach better results, but also to engage better with your customers. So I do think that every company can find a purpose, because every company started with some kind of idea, or has something in common that they can mean in life. And I think for people who want to be engaged in the circular economy, there are so many LinkedIn groups, and there are so many different platforms like the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, who share a lot of interesting cases. So there's really a lot to read, and you can totally start, from inside and within a company to share this interesting knowledge. And this is maybe something that I would recommend them to make it a topic of conversation, starting to talk about circular businesses and inspire others with companies that are already practicing circular or sustainable solutions, and then at one point see how this can be implemented from within a company. And of course, I think the most important thing is that everyone wants. But I mean, something that we notice is that, of course, it's easier if a company's DNA is already circular, like at Mud Jeans. I mean, everything we do, we base on the circular economy. Every decision we make is with circular economy in mind. So that also means we take back old jeans and recycle them. And of course, this is more costly than just using virgin cotton, but we want to prove the world that it's possible to do that. And I just really have hopes that, one, there will be more companies who act like this, so who really in their DNA are circular. But I know there are also larger companies, for example, IKEA. It already existed, and it's really steadily improving their sustainable practices and also becoming more circular. And I think actually IKEA is a really great example, because, for example, they now also have an Black Friday campaign, Bring Back Friday.
They have in Portugal as well. Yeah.
Oh, great! Yeah, and those are initiatives that are great, and I can really imagine that also with creativity, you can get those circular messages across internally, but also externally, because an example like this is something that probably everyone also internally is proud of, and it starts to settle in that the circular economy is also something great and something to be proud of, and therefore motivating to keep looking for new solutions.
I was thinking, because one of the things that we were talking in one of the webinars that Ellen MacArthur Foundation did in this program that I'm doing, and because most of the people that want to work in the circular economy area, they try to find companies like startups that already, like already have this DNA, because it's more exciting. You get the possibility to work in things that are already happening. But actually, the challenge is much bigger in companies that actually don't have this.
Yeah.
And it's really important to have these people that want to make this change in these kind of companies and even big corporations, because, for example, IKEA, and Anna's from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation team was speaking about it, and the change is only happening in companies like IKEA because they have people that is changing this idea and start talking about it. It's much more difficult because you already have suppliers, you already have like process that already working, and actually sometimes the company already have like a business model that in terms of revenue works.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's the thing, like I said, that taking back jeans, it just costs more. So a lot of, that's also it's also great, because it's also an opportunity. Not many other jeans brands will start doing this because it's not smart for their margins, but we're doing it anyway.
Thank you.